Hello, welcome. In today's presentation, I'll be walking you through hotel reservation analysis on SQL. My name is Emmanuel Adetunji. I'm a data analyst intern with Mentorness. And our table of content will be introduction, overview, description of the data sets, data cleaning, SQL queries and results, conclusion, and recommendation. Introduction. This analysis is focused on hotel reservation datasets, and we'll be talking about how we can generate strategic decisions, revenues, and the guest experiences. At the end of the day, we are going to leverage it on how to increase the hotel growth and its success. Overview. The overview of this analysis is to understand is to understand how to analyze the booking pattern, the guest demographic simply means where they are coming from, their booking status, and also to help the hotel management team drive data driven decision that will help the organization to grow and to move forward. The description of the data set. The first one we have here is the booking ID, which was the primary key, the number of adults, the number of children, number of weekend nights, number of week nights. We have the type of meal plan, the room type reserved, the lead time. The lead time simply means the time that was the client or the customer booked and the time of their arrival. The arrival date, the market segment type, average price per room, and so on. The next thing we'll be talking about is data cleaning and analysis. You will agree with me that this analysis will never be complete if there was no cleaning of our data. And the first cleaning that was done is we checked for missing values. At the end of the running of the analysis, using my SQL queries, there was no missing value. Then we move to convert the date from text to date data type. This will help us in the future run of this analysis. SQL queries and their results. The first SQL query that was done was the total number of reservations. From the query, we saw that we had 700 number of reservations that were made. The second we ran was the most popular meal plan among the guests. Meal plan one was the most popular meal plan with a count of 527. The next was the average price per room for reservation involving children. And we saw that we had an average price per room of 145 price per room involving children. The next was the number of reservations that were made for the year 2017. And after running the analysis, we had 123 reservations that were made in 2017. And then the next was the most commonly booked room type. The most commonly booked room type was room type 1 with a count of 534. The next was I had to calculate the total number of reservations that falls on weekend that was greater than zero. After the query, we saw that we had 383 booked reservation on weekend days. The next was we had the highest and the lowest lead time for reservation. Lead time simply means that the time of booking for the client or the customer and the time of the arrival. So we had 443 as the highest lead time, and we had zero as the least lead time. The next was the most booked market segment type for reservation. At the end of the day, we saw that online segment type was the most booked market segment for reservation with a count of 518. We move ahead to the number of reservation having a booking status confirmed. From the data set gotten from the column, we had cancelled and not cancelled, which simply means that when the query was run, we had to bring out the ones that were not cancelled, which was 493, which simply means that since they were not cancelled, it means that they were confirmed. The next was the total number of adults and children across all reservations. We had a total of 1,316 for the adults and 69 reservation for the children. The next was the average number of reservation nights of reservation involving children. At the end of the day, after the query was run, I had 1.0 as the average number of weekend night reservation involving children. And then I move on to the total number of reservations that were made each for each month of the year. When the query was run, I had different months of different reservation. From January to December, they all had reservation that were made for that year. We move on to the average price, average number of nights for both weekend and weekdays spent by guests for each type of the room. So you can see from my analysis that we had every average from room type 1 down to room type 7. The result shows the average number of reservation for both weekend and also weekdays. We move on to the reservation involving children, the most common room type and their average. At the end of the day, we saw that room type 1 was the most common room type for children with a number reservation of 24, and they have an average price of 123.12 approximately. Then the last query that was made was the market segment type that generated the highest average price per room. We know that online segment was the highest with an approximately figure of 112.45. In conclusion, this data analysis was to look at the trend of how the customers were able to approach the hotel, and also this also help to giving the hotel a roadmap on competitiveness and profitability. At the end of the day, as we move forward, the implementation of the recommended strategies will help the hotel to position themselves as the market leaders, thereby enabling them to grow and to go beyond their competitors, and also to gain the full trust of their clients and customers coming from different locations to lodge at their hotel. Recommendation: based on the analysis of the hotel reservation dataset, we recommend the following strategic action: optimize room pricing and inventory management. This is very important. This will help the hotel to adjust their pricing strategy and also implement dynamic pricing. To also help them to enhance room inventory management by evolving guest preference. The guests may love this and they may not love this. This will also help them to enhance their guest experience, thereby making their guests to have a fun, fair experience as they come to lodge into their hotel. And also, it will improve the revenue management strategy. It will help the hotel to have a strategy on how to increase their pricing at a particular period of time, and also reduce their pricing at also a particular period of time. And lastly, to enhance data driven decision making. This will establish a centralized data management system to facilitate ongoing analysis. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Adetunji, a data analyst intern at Mentorness, and it's nice having you around.